their skill. Everybody wants to get there faster, make the way to the top of the hill. Each time you climb, gonna get just. Hey everyone, how's it going? It is I, the real Randy Chavez. I'm coming at you today with a VeVe, OMI, Definity, DEVVE, DACAT update video. Guys, if you're new, welcome. For not, welcome back. I love you all. Everyone say hello to Dashi. Hello Dashi. Commenting, liking, and subscribing is a free way to help support the channel. Non-free ways are Patreon, smashing that super thanks button down below. Super chats as well. Got a little bit to go over today. I'll go over the actual news, everything that's going on, and then a ton of speculation about VeVeVerse, because shout out to Metaverse Life for building this amazing vault. And again, we'll get into that. But for now, let's just go in and take a look at. Should we do the news first? Nah, news is never first. We'll do. We'll start off on Definity. Definity had a bit of a rough day today. Now down about 11% on the day, down about to 2.4 cents. But it had gone down to about 2.1. It might have even wicked down even lower than that. Actually, let's take a look at that. Over on the, no, I don't want to claim that. If we go down to the Uniswap, and we can take a look at, yeah, about 2.1, give or take. Down there. So this wasn't any one person. It was, oh no, actually it was a couple of people that had sold. But for the most part, it was this 842 F7. They didn't sell a ton. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No. All right. So maybe about 8.5 grand. So which is wild. 8.5 grand in sales, you know, dumped at about like 15-18%, which is nuts. So it had gotten down to like a $3-ish million market cap. And even now the market, like fully diluted, it's 4.1, but even now 3.69, pretty much 3.7, stupid low. I was able to get a couple hundred, but to be honest, I'm kind of out of dry powder. So yeah, a couple of hundred was really all I was able to get. I did get a tiny bit more of DACAT. We'll get to DACAT in a minute. These are one of those things that I had said in the past, hey, when DEVVE goes up, put most of it into OMI, because I think OMI will run before Definity. So maybe like an 80-20 split, like the profits from DEVVE, 80% would go into OMI and 20% would go into Definity, but maybe like a 75, 15, and then the other 10% I would put into other stuff that I just didn't have enough of yet. Maybe some like Alluvium or some Flow or some more DACAT. But again, the amount of DACAT that I bought is like super tiny. It's not even enough to be considered a buy. But the reason why I wanted to do that is because I don't know when some of these, I don't know why, whenever I start streaming, my chest tightens up over the last like, having like the last like week. Anyway, I want to get quite a bit more, because all of the stuff that I'm doing with it, and it'll come out eventually, it is pretty big, and it's something that, hey, I'm going to want to get some down here at a $600,000 market cap. Now, granted, similar to Definity, where Definity, again, it had like a $4.5-5 million market cap, whatever, or even less, maybe even like 4.5. You know, $8,000 worth of sales, you know, that's enough to take it down like $500,000. It was insane. So the same thing is possible that it happens with DACAT as well. I do know a lot of the big bag holders for DACAT, and they're, well, I haven't sold yet. So I do think though that at some point, you know, everybody says, oh, I'll never sell, or, you know, I'm not going to sell until this crazy. And there are a lot of people that do say that and believe it, and they're truthful. And I feel like that's how sometimes I get wrecked, because they say, no, I'm not going to sell until it's a $6 billion market cap. And it's like, okay, well, when it goes to 800 million and you're not selling anything, you know, and that's just how people sometimes get wrecked. Or they hold on for too long. And I'm not saying that DACAT is either capable or incapable of those types of things. To be honest, probably not. But again, I'm putting a lot of my extra effort into the story, into writing. I went like a madman yesterday. So This is going to the first comic. It's probably going to be like 40 pages. I know I originally said like, yeah, comics are usually like 21, 22 pages, but there's some that are like 32. That's fine. And then it's like, okay. I'm on like page 35, 36 right now, and I still have a bit to add. So this is try to cut some stuff, and I'll try to do whatever. But it's not just that. Now, obviously, there'll be multiple comics over on VeVe. It'll constantly get attention, but there's other stuff, and I can't wait to tell you. But yeah, that's why I just want to get to Cat first now before that comes out. And again, there's somebody that could sell the news. There's somebody that could just get liquidated in real life. Hey, my son needs surgery. Got to liquidate this 20K, and 20K in sales on DACAT is going to have more of effect for DACAT at $600,000 market cap than Definity had at like a $4.5 million. Again, just be advised of that. Not telling anyone what to buy or what not to buy. What is Nancy Mace talking about? Just signed the censure resolution against Robert Garcia for inciting violence against Elon Musk. So that I love Nancy. I love Elon. But censoring people often does not. Now I understand you can't just be like calling for violence against someone. You shouldn't do that. But I don't know. I don't like it anytime where the government has too much power, regardless of who's in office. Something I'll ask Greg next week. Anyway, let's move on to DEVVE. There's a update from Tom as well that'll go over. DEVVE is down about 1.5% to 94, almost 95 cents. I could have sworn we were at like $1. Yeah, so like yes, in the last couple of days we were up to like $1.15. We were down like 88, 89 cents yesterday. Be advised at like 91, 92 cents. If you were to do like a 5x long on DEVVE, you'd get liquidated at I think like 76 cents, 77 cents, give or take. So I did have a little bit of dry powder on the side just to kind of protect that. Oh, if it gets down to 78 cents, I'll go. But then obviously it went to Definity. So, anyway, but this one, it's a lot harder to manipulate because it's not a $600,000 market cap or a $5 million market cap, $82 million market cap. So it is a bit harder to, can it still happen? Yes. Does it? I'm sure. But yeah, let's go over some Tom news here, because Tom does have a lot of these. Peter. Okay, so this guy named Peter says, hey, could I ask if possible how DEVVE plans to market DEVVE and the DEVVE exchange? Is it going to be in-house, or does the team plan to outsource to professionals? The reason I ask is why, with the addition of Will Stewart to the core team, has went so much under the radar. Should the marketing manager and team not be shouting from the rooftops and publishing what a coup? What an amazing DEVVE achieved in landing such a high-level individual, and that is a fair question. So Tom comes out and says, a big part of the trick of growing an early-stage company is maximizing resources. Marketing isn't that complicated in an area. In a lot of ways, it's largely simply a matter of spending money. It's also hard unless you have big budgets. When you're small, you have to have the right timing and the use of marketing funds, and those funds need to be balanced against all other places you can use them, such as for technical development. Also, I found it not so easy to find good marketing companies. It's very easy space to waste a lot of money. The press release with Will Stewart has accomplished what we needed. We can point at it in private meetings with partners. His joining is tough to leverage into the crypto space. A lot of the crypto space doesn't really, Anyway, there are other types of concepts that move the needle. More there. Other news is better. There. We do. Other news is better there. That might just be a typo. We do have plans for how we will spread the word though. But in early stages, there are sometimes other ways to accomplish the goals of marketing as well. We're looking at partnerships for customer acquisition, for example. Also, in our longer-term business model and future larger funding rounds, which Will is going to lead, much larger amounts will go towards marketing when we are in a growth phase on the next exchange. I'll say up to everybody. Hey, what's up, VV Ben? How's it going? Thank you for being a member. Saying, yo, good morning, all. Meow, meow. Turtle says first. What's up, Turtle? You were second, good sir. VV Ben hath beaten you by 10 minutos. All right, let's move on. So there's somebody that also asks, a guy named Rodri, do you anticipate most growth around the release of exchange rather than partner or state confirmations? And Tom says, I envision larger user growth, same as other exchanges had after launch. Most exchanges raised larger rounds of funding and spent large amounts on marketing to fuel that growth. That said, I envision we'll have a lot of exciting announcements before the exchange launch. Now, I know a couple of you might be asking, okay, so Chavez, you said they've had a big announcement. Is the exchange the big announcement? Their exchange is one thing, and one of their partners is another. The partner, I don't know when that gets announced. We're still not 100% sure who the partner is. All evidence points to NASDAQ, but again, that's not concrete. And even if it was, we don't know what type of partnership it is. But that would make it so that is really big. That would make it so that everyone around in the finance world would hear about that. Now, where does that ring on the scale of importance to people? And probably raise a few eyebrows. Probably, what is that? And then again, depending on what type of partnership it is, it would be like, oh, all right, blockchain, yeah, everyone's in crypto now. Everyone's in, might not that be, but if they're going to use their T+0 settlement time, if they're going to use the DEVVE network, and they're saying like that's a major disruptor in banking, and that won't just raise a few eyebrows. That'll be like, what is this technology? What is this, like Harry Potter magic? Like there's no way this is real. And they'll look into it and they'll FOMO in. And I do think, maybe I'm getting a little ahead of myself. There will be those people that FOMO in. There will be those people that'll be like, oh my God, I can smell opportunity, can smell which way the wind's blowing, and they'll go in. They'll dry powder on the side. Now, granted, there's a lot of people that are like, oh, this could be interesting. Let's read about it. And maybe they like it and they don't have as much dry powder on the side. Maybe there's a couple people that'll be like, there's no way. That's not, and maybe it might not affect them. Maybe it's like, oh yeah, this will be cool. This will be great. And maybe they just don't recognize the opportunity. Maybe they'll just say like, hey, this is going to be great for us. Technology is advancing, blah, 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 blah. I don't know how much the 8 million transactions per second is really going to appeal to traditional finance. It might be like, what does Bitcoin do? Bitcoin does like a fraction of that. This is interesting. But I just feel like if you're not really in crypto and you're not really in Web3, you're not really going to understand the ramifications of something like that. And then you're going to have people that'll be like, okay, well, Solana can do like 80, 90,000 transactions per second, and people seem fine with that. Why do you need 8 million? Some people might not care. But again, that T0 settlement time is probably going to get a bunch of people to FOMO in. There's about 10,000 holders of the DEVVE token right now. I believe that's likely to go pretty crazy, and add a zero to that, within 2 months after the announcement, because some of these people are going to go hard. They're going to go heavy and hard, and I can't wait. Anyway, I think that's the only announcement we might have from the Tom for the DEVVE stuff. Yeah, there's a bunch of other stuff to go over, and we'll get to that. But I just wanted to go over that. And yeah, I don't think, again, if I get a ton of new money, sure, I'll put some in, but I have a decent amount now, and I really want to get more Definity, so I'll keep y'all posted. Ginferno says, howdy, hope all is well. Oh yeah, doing pretty well. I don't know why, my body's just not recovering, not feeling so hot, but maybe it's because I'm freaking writing so much each day. Anyway, if y'all can just smash that like button, be a free way to help support the channel. Non-free ways are Patreon / super thanks button down below, super chats as well. Ooh, Mario Odyssey mod. Okay, that's interesting. Bill Garter says, what up? Meow, meow. OS, the forever bear says, always market cap just keeps getting lower. It does. And again, the best thing that could happen for me would be that DEVVE goes up like 20x. Honestly, even 10x. No, we'd want 20x. That 10x isn't that much. I mean, it is, but let's say 20x and OMI's market cap get cut in half. Yep, get me that billion OMI. Get me that billion OMI. That's what I want. Is that for sure what's going to happen. It's possible that OMI goes up before DEVVE. If you take a look at the chart, you'll be like, okay, Chavez, what are the odds that OMI goes up before DEVVE? And it'll probably come to the conclusion that is like a pretty close to zero. However, the volume has, let's go over the last 7 days. And you go over the last 7 days and pick any time during, or like, 5 or 7 days ago. What does that say? How much volume is that? 365? Yeah, 365,000 in volume. All right, let's go even further back than that. What does that say? That's 353. Let's do a little bit later than that. February 8th, we have almost 500,000 at 499. Okay, let's go a little further than that. Okay, February 9th, we're at 379. Not really good. February 10th, 635. All right, well, at least it's over 500,000. February 11th, okay, 800K, 797. Later on February 11th, okay, 900K. All right. Now, hey, now, ladies, yeah. February 12th, about 970 again. February 13th, so I know yesterday we reached it, and today we have that as well. And yeah, $1 million hairs in volume. Like, well, Charles, last time we had that, the price pumped, and now it's not pumping. You'd be right. You'd be right. It hasn't pumped yet. So there's a lot of cross trading going on. But I remember that episode of Sex and the City where Samantha is like the agent of this like male model, and this male model is like super solid. Like, you said I'd get women. It'd be easier to like get laid, but all I'm doing is I'm just getting hit on by gay guys. And then she calmly, as a matter of factly, just brushes up his collar, hands on his shoulder, says, "First come the gays, and then come the girls." And then as soon as she said that, boom, girls started coming. So a lot of times, not all the time, but a lot of times in crypto, first comes the volume, and then comes the pump. Does it always happen like that? No. Sometimes you could pump on low volume, but a lot of times when that volume happens, the pump usually isn't too far behind, unless the volume is crazy because a lot of people are selling and swapping and all that. But now, again, obviously, especially over the last 7 days, yeah, the volume has gone up, but the chart is looking way down. Why is that? Again, as of right now, like always, it's math. There just happens to be more sellers than buyers. But I believe at some point that might make a little bit of a reversal. When? I don't know, but we shall see. Anyway, let's get to a little bit of the news here, shall we? Tuesday? Where am I? Yesterday. Oh my trouble. Actually, before I get to the screenshots that I have for the last 2 days, JP Morgan says, oh, let me get that negativity out of that. What's up, Rayman Collector? Meow, meow, meow. Meow, meow, meow. Thank you for tuning in on the X. JP Morgan says Tether may need to sell Bitcoin to comply with proposed U.S. stablecoin regulations. Tether currently holds about 83,758 Bitcoin, worth over $8 billion at current prices. Just some news that might have people say, oh, hey, that's interesting. Anyway, that's the only other bit of news. Not going to do that. All right, President Trump says he and Russia's Putin agreed to visit each other's nations and start negotiations immediately. This is something that could help the entire crypto market, because if they're like, that's what kind of destroyed the last bull market when Russia invaded Ukraine. Crypto market exploded. But now, if the opposite happens, Trump gets in there, he negotiates a peace deal between Ukraine and Russia, then the market loves stability. It dislikes instability. When things seem unstable, markets go down. When things seem a little bit more stable, markets tend to go up. So I think the crypto community will like that. Hold on. Elon Musk says all Americans will benefit from lower interest payments on mortgages, small business debt, credit cards, and other loans as a result of Doge. Love that Department of Government Efficiency. Speaking of which, how much have they helped us save so far? $91 billion. Wow. Saving $91 billion for the American taxpayer. Shout out to him. And I feel like a lot of times people will say like, oh, well, Chavez, this is going to be this isn't just going to affect Democrats. It's going to affect Republicans too. Doge. They're going to uncover a lot of people's. Isn't that bad? No good? Anyone if anyone's ever seen American Gangster, Denzel Washington and Russell Crowe, yeah. At the end, Denzel Washington is very skeptical of Russell Crowe because Russell's like, give me all of the dirty, give me all of your dirty, your corrupt businessmen and the politicians you got in your pocket. And Denzel's like, you're not gonna like who I have in my pocket because there are some dirty cops in there too. And Russell Crowe goes in, fires right back, says, you're a gangster. Italians are gangsters, but you don't claim Italians as your own. Neither do I claim dirty cops as my own. And again, I don't really consider myself Republican or Democrat. I'm a little bit more libertarian. But I love that meme says Republicans will be exposed by this too. Good. Get all the corruption out of there. Coinbase derivatives are going to launch Sol futures. So shout out to all those Solana people that are super excited about their bags. Sol futures will be launched. And Coinbase had a very good day. And Coinbase had let's see. I know I screenshot that. And that was earlier today. SEC acknowledges Grayscale's 19B4 filing for its spot XRP ETF. It's not what I'm talking about here. And then I guess Grayscale's 19B4 filing for its spot Dogecoin ETF, which is wild. But I know there was, Coinbase's Coin reports 2.3 billion in revenue for Q4, which is 23% higher than expectations. That's why Coinbase had pumped today, and all that jazz. Now, where was I? Oh, continue your voyage through American history with highlighted and anticipated final drop of the prestigious United States Postal Service 1938 Presidential Series stamp art collection. I liked Grant when they dropped him. I got him because he was remember in Batman Dark Knight when Joker says, "My father was a drinker." The President Grant was also a drinker. He had a bit of an issue where people were like, oh, I hear he's an alcoholic, here he drinks too much, I don't think I can vote for him. So he would advise to be like, never drink in public, you can only drink in private. And dude's like, man, what the heck? I just like that about him. Like back when it didn't necessarily matter how flawed you were, a good leader's a good leader, warts and all. And nowadays, like every little thing that people parse and snip at is like kind of blown out of proportion. It's like, bro, like people are still human. And like Dr. Cox said to Elia, is like, well, what if I was a cross-dressing river dancer at night? Like, would it affect how I am as a teacher? No, if you're good at something, you're good at something. So I like that. For this presidential series in the United States Postal Service stamp that has on VeVe, maybe I'll get one or two of them. I don't know. But again, collect what you like. I like Grant, so I collected him. I liked a bunch of the other presents that we had on here, so I have half of those. Anyway, let's move on. Pentagon previously spent $32,000 to replace 25 coffee cups. What? Oh my God. I don't know why a Department of Government Efficiency wasn't done like years ago. This is nuts. Also, I did mention the other day that for the DACAT comic, I was told to kind of tone down the language a little bit because there do be some curse. I mean, obviously now I'll bleep it out or I'll do whatever. But when they for the Dr. Doom and Rocket Raccoon #1, he said ass in there, so I'm going to assume I can at least say ass. And also, with this Carnage cover that they had on VeVe Comics, like that is violent, that is gore, that is so freaking cool. But yeah, obviously the cat comic there'll be some blood, man. There'll be some. Oh, yeah, I can't wait. Shout out to Bass Donders that finally got his Venom. Good for you, number 620. Arcturus says, let's get it. What's going on? Meow, 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 meow. What's going on, Arcturus? Arcturus, I don't know if you want me to say what you did, but just be advised, Arcturus is kind of a beast on certain things. Speaking of stamps. Dude's a mad lad. Straight up mad lad, and he's crazy, and I love him for it. We have Alex Becker saying, Sol is great, but ETH is the only chain decentralized enough to safely and trustlessly store tens of trillions of dollars of assets on. This is why the pump is inevitable. And I'm not gonna lie, I agree. Donald J. Trump says I had yeah. So he says I had a lengthy call with President Vladimir Putin of Russia. We discussed Ukraine, the Middle East, energy, artificial intelligence, the power of the dollar, and various other subjects. We both reflected on the great history of our nations and the fact that we fought so successfully together in World War II, remembering that Russia lost tens of millions of people, and we likewise lost so many. We each talked about the strengths of our respective nations and the great benefit we will someday have in working together. But first, we have both agreed we want to stop the millions of deaths taking place in the war with Russia and Ukraine. President Putin even used my very strong campaign motto of common sense. We both believe very strongly in it. We agreed to work together very closely, including visiting each other's nations. We have also agreed to have our respective teams start negotiations immediately, and we'll begin by calling President Zelensky of Ukraine to inform on the conversation, something which I'll be doing right now. This goes on for a little while, but regardless of how you feel about the man, working with Russia to bring peace is something that I think is far superior to Cold Wars and bombs and bribes like this. I love peace. Love peace. Damn, I'm not even gonna go over that one. Dude, I honestly 100K right now. I'd be buying so much Definity at the 2.4 cents level. I mean, I would have liked to get it 2.1 cents, but yeah, I'd be getting so much at the 2.1 cent level. Well, I'm at 2.4 now. And I know there's only so much that you can do before it goes back up to 3.5 cents, but damn, bro, I want it. Anyway, let's move on here. Okay. So I didn't mention on here. I guess I mentioned it over on the Sleepin had posted yesterday that he thinks that VeVe needs to drop their digital comics version, so not the NFT comics on VeVe Comics, but the digital read-only version, to 99 cents. Something that I don't know if I necessarily agree with, because again, they are new and you do get great art for 99 cents. I can't see doing that right away. But he did say a subscription, you pay $15 a month and you get to pick 10 comics. I like that idea. Like, well, Chavez, that's $1.50 a comic. That's not far off from Sleepin's 99-cent deal. Get it. You're right. But a subscription, people go in and they pay either way. And I know several people that have a gym subscription. They don't use it. I know several people that are not, they don't subscribe to it, but they pay for like a country club, like $30,000 a year, and they never go. They just do it to say that, like, dude, subscriptions make the world go round. Subscriptions are something that I definitely want VeVe to go and do. Start with a VeVeVerse. You don't have to do it for comics. Start with a VeVeVerse. Hey, anyone can use it, but if you pay $10 a month, you get X, Y, and Z. Pokemon TCG, TCG Platinum, TCG Pocket, they have that. $10 a month, and suddenly you don't just get X amount of rewards for these tasks, you get even more awards for those tasks. And VeVe, they really should do a subscription-based service for either comics, something in the VeVeVerse, something on the VeVe app, whatever it is. $15 a month, and have it just get you stuff. Have it get you more MCP. Have it get more, like, whatever it is, because that is a faucet of untapped revenue that they're just missing out on. He also says the pricing model seems off. I honestly do like the prices here, but yeah, $15 a month, get picked 10, something like that. Dude, do that. Dude, VeVe, please. I'm gonna screenshot and go over this every single day until they listen. Shout out to you. Shout out to VeVe Vet saying I hit level 96 a few days ago. It should be level 100 by New York Comic Con. That's amazing. Speaking of which, they have gone on and said which cons they are going to this year. Some will be like, oh yeah, that makes sense, and others will surprise you. Maybe Ben's happy early Valentine's Day. Okay, that's another thing I want to go over. Maybe I'll go over tomorrow. I don't. Maybe I know why, but I have had a fair amount of people. I can't. I don't know how to say this without sounding like a douche. Um, Guys, it's not that hard to get laid. Like I understand when someone like Henry Cavill looking mother flapper. I understand when someone like him says, "Oh God, it's not that hard to get laid," and he's just a freaking god. I am not a freaking god. I am just your normal everyday Chavez, and guys, not that hard. Valentine's Day, especially, ask a girl out. I like even if you get turned down 9 times out of 10 or 19 times, however much, like somebody's going to say yes. And when you do that, and it like guys, it's easy. Just go in and have a planned date. Like the worst thing you could do is be like, well, I don't know, what do you want to do? Like, bro, just Italian, Mexican, like something, have something planned. The amount of times, and again, this is like not lift enough weight so that you can carry your girl from the windowsill to the bed, and that's it. And they will be impressed. Like the amount of girls that have said like, "Oh, I've never had someone do that to me before." Like, bro, be able to lift your girl from the windowsill of the bed, have a planned date, and pay for it. Yes, you got to pay for the date. I don't. This happens every year. People are like, "Oh, I don't like Valentine's Day. Oh, I'm always so jealous." Like, guys, it's not that hard. I swear it's not that hard. Anyway, Kiwa Jezza says, "Hey Randy, how are you writing the comic?" I I sit down and I play a little music. I make sure I have some water and I type away. I'm like Snoopy in this freaking bitch up in here. Just typing away on his typewriter. Was it 36 pages you have so far just writing, or are you storyboarding it, or is it being drawn while you're writing it? I can show you one of the pieces of it's a whole page. I'll show you the whole page because I posted it publicly. So obviously this particular piece of writing, like the words on here, there's less than 100 words on this page, but it counts as a page because you have all of this stuff that needs to go on there in the background. So it is the writing takes place first, and then you have to storyboard it. You have to go in and be like, okay, here's what this panel's like, here's that panel's like, and here's this art, here's what they're saying, um, and then after that, yeah, it's got to get drawn. And part of the reason why, um, well, I can't say too much about it, but yeah, artists are expensive. Like 200 a page, but the art is really good. The art is like really good. Obviously, kind of like Ladies of the Night that have multi-hour discounts. You have some artists that give multi-page discounts and multi-book discounts if you go in and book them for X amount of books and pages and all that. Obviously everyone loves consistent work. Nothing wrong with that. But be advised, the 35, 36 pages that I have now, it's not done. It's most of that is raw, and there's still a couple things I have to add. So this comic might be like 42 pages ish. Yeah, so there's a being drawn while you're writing it. I mean, there's not a lot of stuff being drawn, and some good artists take time. Some good artists are just like, hey, they can do it fairly. They can do it quicker than others, but for the most part, yeah, this is. I'm kind of learning as I'm going, but it's fun. I'm having a lot of fun with it. What's up, Connor? How's it going, fam? Meow 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 meow. Okay, where was I? Oh yeah, all right. So here we go. We're leveling up in 2025. Get ready as VeVe hits the road for some of the biggest pop culture and digital collectible events of the year. Mark your calendars. We can't wait to connect with our amazing community. We have MCM Comic Con in the UK on the 23rd to the 25th. I have friends in the UK. I have some very special people in my life in the UK. I do have to be somewhere like a couple of days after this event, and it is not in the direction of where I need to go. So I may have to skip that event because I do have to be somewhere a couple of days later, and that's a lot of traveling. It's a lot of stuff. So yeah, I may have to skip that one. The non-fungible conference in June. I haven't been to Portugal in a while, and I would very much like to go to that. It's in my calendar. That is for June 4th to the 6th. I would like to go. I might go. I will keep you all posted. San Diego Comic-Con, I don't want to say it's a must, but San Diego is pretty freaking awesome. I thoroughly enjoy it. I typically don't spend a ton of time at the con. I used to cosplay all the time back when I was a young warthog, and I was super yoked AF. But yeah, San Diego is often really fun. Even if you don't go to the con a lot, the after parties, even having the house. I was the party house last year, and I said I'd never want to do it again, but it is a lot easier. Oh God, New York. It was a lot easier to be the party house when you don't have to worry about your group getting home. Because where I was staying in New York, I was staying with a bunch of girls, and trying to get 3 drunk white girls home after a night out of partying. They're like, oh, let me go over here, let me go over there, was like herding puppies. And that was like, anyway, I would much rather be the host house and the party house, because this way you don't have to go anywhere. People came over at 9 in. People left, the last person to leave at like 5 in. I was tired AF the entire time, but it was so much fun. Yeah, that's a lot of fun. New York Comic Con, again, probably also a must. When Ohio Con, guys? When Ohio State Con? I don't know if that'll ever be a thing. Then DCon, oh God, November 15th to the 17th. That was in Vegas last time. If it's in Vegas again, I'm in. If it is in Anaheim, probably not in. But Vegas, oh heck yeah. And then Singapore Comic Con. I've never been to Singapore. That's December 6th and 7th. Go all that way for a couple days. I mean, at that point, the bull market full swing, altcoin season full swing, and we go pretty hard. I might just do that anyway, just because. Yeah, let's do it. Well, I'll be rich AF. But yeah, so probably not going to go to the UK. May or may not for non-fungible conference. We'll definitely go to San Diego, New York, and maybe DCon if it's in Vegas. But Singapore, we'll probably. I don't know. We'll see. I'll keep you all posted. Where was I? Okay, good. Vivi goes on and says the events are more than just conventions. They're an opportunity to connect, share stories, and celebrate the brands and characters that inspire us. Whether you're attending in person or following along online, we promise to bring you exciting updates, interactive experiences, and maybe even some surprise announcements. Ooh, what are the announcements? What could they be? I don't know. We'll see. Where was I? Connor. Hey, fam, is that? Oh, thumbs up. Thought it was like a ring for a second. I was like, can't take the cat seriously because it has 8 zeros. That is your choice. I mean, Pepe has like 5 zeros or whatever. I was saying that's like a $30 billion market. No, it's like a $4 billion market cap. I feel like you don't take anything seriously, but that might just be me. The Wheel says that's right, my man. Vegan Thing says happy Thursday. Oh, why happy Thursday, friend? How are you doing? Bill Gardner, give me those dabs. Pokemon says our thoughts are with all those affected by the recent wildfires in Southern California. To support relief efforts in the region, the Pokemon Company Group is making an immediate monetary donation of $500,000 to its partner at Global Giving in support of the California Wildfire Relief Fund. This will be in conjunction with $500,000 donation made by Neontic to nonprofit organizations also providing aid to communities in Southern California. To learn more about Global Giving's ongoing efforts relief, please visit globalgiving.org/project/California-wildfire-relief-fund. Cardano ADA founder Charles Hoskinson says it'll take 90 to 120 days to get basic laws passed. Looks like stablecoins will be regulated first, then asset classification. Before the end of 2025, the US will be on much stronger foundations for crypto business. Does this mean that we have to wait several months before we get any new crypto laws and before we pump? Do we have to wait this long? You know, can we trade sideways for another 4 months and then we move? And then maybe Bitcoin, so was it February, so March, April, May, June. Maybe June is when Bitcoin starts ripping up. And then maybe by September it's done. And then altcoin season maybe doesn't start until September, October. I don't know. We'll see. President Trump does say that interest rates are going to be going down. Shout out that. All right, I'm done with the news here. We got to go on to the, oh God, hiccups. We got to go on to VeVeVerse because it's been about 40 minutes and y'all been patient enough. Patient enough. We got to get VeVeVerse. Okay. At the end of the video that they did today, honestly, I'm not even going to talk about that. They put in Metaverse Life's like minute-and-a-half video that he did of the stuff. And when you take a look at it, it's really cool. Like, oh, hey, you got a gas station here. You have the Deadpool chimichanga truck. There's Deadpool inside there. You have, is that an Aston? Yeah, it's an Aston Martin in with the Pizza Planet truck. There's a VP Gold logo in there. Like, this looks pretty good. But wait, what is that on the outside? Chavez, it's clouds, bro. It's clouds. It's the sky. Dude, it's the sky. Like, that is nothing new. Well, if you look to the left of it, what goes on there? Is that a spire? Is that something? Well, that clearly looks like the sun behind it. Are those buildings? Let's move on a little further. At a different angle, here where the Aston Martin here is on the right, so you're looking to the right over here, there seems to be a couple of buildings. Now, obviously, you look past the street light. There seems to be a couple of buildings. What are they? Is that just background? Well, when you go inside of the diner, I'll show you the full thing inside. And let's look at that first. The menus are comics. That's really cute. The menus are comics. That's adorable. Oh my God! Would people stop messaging me? I can't. Jesus, man. Okay, well, that's just gonna go unanswered. Whoever messaged me, and it looks like I saw your message, and I just left you on scene. I did not mean to. It just happened. Message me again. What is that? Is that Avengers Tower? And what is that behind? I don't think that's Avengers Tower. It's definitely not Avengers Tower. But what is that behind it? Is that something that he imported? Are those more cities? And look at that sky yet again. Now, there's another. I don't know if I can. On the outside of what looks like, oh, hey, there's a Homer and Bart. There's a little Mickey Mouse on the run there. But outside of this, which again we'll go over a little bit of that later. To the right, let me show you where I'm talking about. On the top of that, next to the clock, they have the cryptozoic things, the jade and gold statues. But what's to the right of that? Let's take a look. See, there's the gold statue, and then we look past that. Is that an American flag flying at half mast? And what's that below it? Is it more buildings? Is it a stadium? Is it more statues? What is it? And looking on the other side, okay, there's a flag again. But then what are they? What are these things? Is that Avengers Tower? Do we have other types of towers on there? And then to the left of the building, what is that in the sky? I mean, I guess we could have imported alien ships. Well, what other ships do we have? Well, I guess we have Darth Vader's ship. We have those fighter pilots. We have X-wings, sure. Maybe there's a battle taking place. Like, what are those ships? What are they doing? Is it just background stuff? And again, what seems to be like a major ship that's just beyond the building. Now, if you go on the inside of the Aston Martin, what would you expect it to look like? Well, on the inside, you would expect it to be clean, and it is. Well, the body of it is clean, the leather and all that. But what is this on the windshield? It looks kind of dirty, right? It looks kind of like, what are those? What are those black streak marks? Well, I don't know what the black streak marks are, but let's wind the clocks back a couple of years, and again, you see some other black streak marks. This is not in the car, but you see it on another view. Remember a year ago when Disney and Epic put out a gaming trailer? Not necessarily gaming, but they put out kind of their metaverse trailer. And then they had a bunch of different things in there. They have X-wings. They have, is that an eagle? I have no idea, like a flying banana or whatever. And then they have like a raceway, like a highway over in the cloud, in the sky. Also, just again, trying to look at that building. Is that building in the trailer we already saw? Probably not. That's probably just something that Metaverse Life put in there. But what's behind those buildings? Hey, look, a TIE fighter. Hey, look, it's a streak that cars can drive on. Is this because the worlds might be interoperable? Let's look even further. To the right of the sun, another building. To the left of that, you see, again, you can't make out what it is. Is it a bridge? Is it similar to the bridge that we see up over in here? I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine. But these are some things that I'm thinking of, and why would he put something like that in the background? Maybe he didn't. Maybe he imported all of that and he's like, yeah, this will look cool, like whatever. Maybe they're actually nothing. Maybe it's just glitches. I mean, these things are still in beta. They're not released to the public yet. So clearly stuff can go on in the background that doesn't make sense. But why waste the computing power trying to render something that you can't get to? Quandary. The Phaser says, why aren't there more short, hyped VV OMI videos? Most of the content are long live streams. Couldn't some quick, high energy videos about the latest updates predicted get people more excited? So I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Even this, what I do, like this is not. I shouldn't say nothing. This does not yield me anything up front. Why I still do, and I'll be 100% honest here. Why I still do this night after night is because I can go over. I can now ask CEOs of relatively any company I want, hey, do you want an interview? And most people say no, but I want to get a lot of cool people on here. And some people even pay to come on. And I go in and I say, hey, tell me about your company. Tell me, because I have a lot of people that are here that are interested in that. And they show their project, they show their token, and they talk about why their stuff is awesome. And then when I click the red end stream button, and the camera's off, but we can still talk to each other. They go say, "Oh, wow, that was a great discussion, great questions. Hey, like I couldn't say anything on stream, but," and then they tell me like all the stuff that they couldn't say on stream because it's not public yet. Now, I've never signed an NDA to date. Well, not with anything here. I signed a bunch of NDAs with the military. That was, I was like giving away like my firstborn. And that's it. And then I can connect them with my network of high net worth individuals. And I say like, okay, well, let's make something happen here. And I get money that way. This is not, I make nothing off YouTube. Well, I make nothing off of this. Obviously you have sponsors of the channel. You have that. Again, you have the commissions off of those OTC deals that are fine. a lot of people, they'll have like Mr. Falcon has much cleaner content. And I don't mean like cleaner like he doesn't curse. I don't think he does, but I mean cleaner like it's visually pleasing, it's visually appealing. He gets stuff in there, and it can show off the collectibles. You know, he has whatever app or software that he uses, and it looks cool. Metaverse Life, the stuff that he just did, looks amazing. I ain't about that life. I'm not about to spend 2 hours or however long it takes on a video that's going to last 3 minutes that make no money and get 300 views. Like I'm not. I can't. I would love to, but I'm just. I'm already busy with stuff. I'm already doing a bunch of stuff. So could other people do it? Sure. Should I do it? Chavez, work for your bags. Like at the end of the day, like nobody else is doing it. You should. You're probably right. Probably should. But that's probably the reason. Mr. Falcon is like VeVe puts out Mr. Falcon's content, and again, I'm sure he works hours on these contents. You know, he sets up jokes, he sets up things, he writes a script. I imagine he works hours for that 3 to 4 minute video, and VeVe puts it out, and it gets a couple hundred views. Like it's just, I don't think I could do that. I don't think I could be like, yeah. And again, I could try to do something like that, and it probably wouldn't be as good. Like it wouldn't. Like Falcon stuff just looks good. The stuff that Metaverse Life does looks good, but Metaverse Life's got a pretty sweet career. He's doing a lot of cool stuff. Falcon, I mean, I know he works for VeVe, but I assume something similar. It's just a lot of work, and it's really not a lot of, like, the narrative will come when it comes, and I feel like every now and then I'll go in and I'll tell Ben or I'll tell David, like, hey, watch the first 6 minutes of this, watch the first 10, and it's a well thought out script, it's a well thought out thing, and I was like, this should get people hyped, and it does, and that's what I'm good at. I'm a good writer, and I can speak fairly well, but making videos is just not my strong suit. That's not my forte. Like when I say that, like making the clean videos that people can get hyped from. Also, I'd have to cut the hair a little bit. I have to shave. Like right now, I look like one of those illegal Mexicans that Trump wants to deport. You know, they need a cleaner face. Yeah. So I know it's a really long-winded response. I'm sure we could do something like that. Like I think Will and Lori, Queen VeVe, they had done a video, I think last year, talking about, it's like, Randy, you got to stay away from those MILFs, Randy. And it wasn't them that said it. It was Tally from South Park, where I was like, Randy, you got to stay away from those MILFs. And it was that was really fun. Yeah, I feel like also people might be getting a little tired of Chavez. How many thousands of videos have I made the last few years? You know, maybe someone new. I don't know. Alfred Kahn says, when you anticipate the price of DEVVE to increase? Whenever they go in and they say, hey, this is our partner, this is what we're doing. I assume that's going to happen in the next couple months, and then maybe this next half of the year they roll out the DEVVE exchange, something like that. No strange what? No strange what? Vegan things. It says new viewers usually only watch 5 to 10 minute vids. Yeah, fair, especially in the ADD age. I get that. There's this, or shorts. Get that too. JRB says, will there be monthly annual utility for your comics, Randy? There's definitely going to be a one-time thing. Special mints, number 69, number 420, maybe the year the comic was minted, so 2025. we'll airdrop tokens, and maybe NFTs, but I'd say maybe NFTs and people that complete the set. So we're just gonna have probably common, rare, ultra rare, secret rare, and for that we'll have a, because I mean just right now it's just because each additional cover is gonna be like I don't know, it's just more money. Maybe we'll have everything. I don't know. Maybe we'll have all 5. I don't. Maybe we won't. I don't know. But people that collect all of them, whether we have 4 covers or 5 covers, then you'll get something as well. And I think people who stack, people who have a certain amount of the comic, they'll get airdropped as well. So it's potential that you can get airdropped like 4 times, most likely 3, because you'll have the set, you'll stack, and then maybe like a mint number, you know. So we could do something like that. Can we do it maybe quarterly? Because that is something you'd kind of want to reward the actual fans and the actual holders. We don't want to say like, hey guys, hold it for 6 months, you get something special. Hold it for a year, you get something really special. Then people just hold it just for that, and then they dump as soon as that happens. So we're definitely going to do something at least once. And yeah, I think something similar to Brock McBlockchain's Fiches, where we just surprise people. But that being said, we're not just going to do one comic. We're going to do a lot. And based on the writing that I've been doing, if I continue at this pace, and I don't know if I can, but if I could continue at this pace, I could probably write nine or so books this year, like 9 or so comics. Does that mean they all come out? No, a couple might, you know. But yeah, this is what we want to do. We want to continue doing that. And then the first one will sell out, we'll get a drop on VeVe. I mean, the first Evermind sold out, and we got a drop of his I forget the name of the character, the donkey guy, not the Donkey Kong looking guy. I would suspect as much for this, where if we can sell out the 3,000 comics, which looks like it should not be a problem, we'll be able to go in and probably negotiate for a drop on VeVe. Could that happen in the same way? I don't know. We'll see. I'll keep y'all posted. But be advised, guys, like the VeVe stuff is like one of the things that I'm planning. There's a lot that's gonna go into it. I'm not actively buying any other meme coins. I hold a bit of Crappy Bird because I do. They sponsored the channel. I hold a bit of Moon credits because they had sponsored the channel. But those are the only memes that I have. Crappy Bird, honestly, I might get more of. Just because they have like a game set out already. They have they're still building. But I did the first priority for outside of Definity, OMI, and DEVVE is DACAT. But again, that's my baby. Like, and well, what are we gonna do with the funds? Oh, I don't know what I'll do with the fun. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Millie says, "Let's freaking go." What's up, fam? Yo, what up, Millie? Meow, meow. Oh, this is good evening, Randy and fam. Good evening, Mr. Dogboy. How's it going? Okay, getting to some of these. Okay, did you guys know that Jessie Spano is in the series? She's in Cobra Kai. I don't want to say which episode or episodes she's in, but I love her, and yeah, I love Jessie Spano. She, like, anyone they watch Saved by the Bell back in the day. Bartsy, what is this? Who did this? All right, anyway. Bear says resold is only for a mansion in Portugal. Now Ryan's pulling in real life, like, bro, can I crash on the couch? I mean, he'd sold part of his OMI. He did not sell all of it. Ryan's pulling up in real life, bro. Can I crash on the couch? Yeah, I guess I could stay with Reese in Portugal. It's a fair point. Fair point. I could do that. No, it was Decon's. Oh, Decon's in Vegas. Yo. Yeah. Then Decon is a must. So the the must goes for me are likely San Diego, New York, and Vegas. Those are probably the must for me. Yeah, definitely going to do that for the VV events. Kiwi Jezza says, cheers, Randy, for answering that common question. Was curious. No problem, sir. Shan Bukasha. Looks like the spherical environment to be spherical. It's a Drake and Josh reference. And it might be. We don't know. It could be as simple as that. There's this VeVeVerse collectibles look fantastic. Low graphics environment don't quite match that level. Feels a bit rough. Hard to move in object interactions also seem clunky. Alpha though, again, yeah, fair point. Also, it's going to depend on computer as well. If you have a good graphics card and a good computer, you'll be fine. If you're like Pacey streaming Earth 2 version 1 on a 9-year-old computer, it's not going to do well. But you know, it's going to be on mobile as well, so I don't see it. Yeah, people are probably going to be playing this like PS2 art. Is hoping for big improvements. I feel you. Vegan says, don't forget to like that button. Like it. Sorry, give me 1 second. Please remember, yep, related. Don't think they dropped the ball. Gonna happen the right time. Patience, yep, agreed. There's a, maybe get an editor, clip and edit the streams into short, high energy videos, so you get the best of both worlds. Deep dives for the loyal fans and quick shareable. Like again, it's not financially worth it to do that. Would it be a net positive for the project? Absolutely. Like most of my lives are like an hour and a half, and some are really good. Like yesterday when I was talking about the comics for like 15 minutes, why VV Comics is so good. Yeah, it would make a lot of sense for somebody to clip that in like a 10 or 15-minute video. Or even just some of the nuggets inside that. But again, like the amount of return on investment is not worth it. I'm just pissing money down the drain so I can market for VV. Like I do this for free pretty much every day anyway. But the reason why I do it is because I can get those other offers. They're like, hey, I have this audience, I have this stuff, and that's kind of how I work. But to do that, that's not going to benefit me really at all. And I get it. Well, Chavez, I thought you were a team player. Again, I feel like I'm enough of a team player where I do all this for free, and I feel like that should be enough. It's like, well, Chavez, remember those? Do you want to try hard or do you want to try harder? I get it. Maybe I should, but if I could pay somebody to do that, or I could use that money to buy more crypto, I'm gonna use that money to buy more crypto. So yeah. Carlos says, market by Ecomi with that 91 billion Doge saved. Oh, bro. That'd be amazing. Yeah, get a little bit of that. Put a little bit of that into OMI. Buy some OMI Doge. Put it on the United States of America's balance sheet. That'd be great. My Go Photographers was happy to see OMI back down here to stack more. Gonna buy a mill every week until it goes back over 0003. We might have. You might be able to get several more million OMI, or it might be done, next week. We don't know. Next week it might be above that, or you could be. I mean, guys, be advised. ETH is still at like 20. Well, it's like 20. It's 20. Yeah, 26, under 2,700. Guys, ETH hasn't moved in like years. We might have to wait another, I don't know, 6 months for OMI to move. It's very possible. And it's also very possible at this time next week, we could have doubled from here. I don't know, tripled from here. There's this, love your streams, 100%. Just thinking in general, this could work for other VV OMI YouTubers. Also, no, by all means, comment however much you want. Yeah, again, we probably should do that, but it's just, I mean, at the end of the day, there's only so much, and again, they probably should do that for new people. But I'm quite busy. And should I do that? Yes, but again, I just don't want to eat the cost of that. And honestly, I shouldn't have to. So I feel like what I'm doing for right now is probably okay. And if anyone else I can't. I'm not asking them to do that. But I think at some point I'll probably do that later on down the line when I have like 20 or 30,000 subscribers, and it's like, okay, well, you could hire a kid to do this, and you give a kid a job, and they do that. That's probably something that we can do. JKRB, give me those thumbs up. Meow meow meow. Jessica Myrtle Spano was bae, bro. Elizabeth Berkley. So not my first crush. First crush goes to either Amy Jo Johnson, who was Kimberly the Pink Power Ranger, or Sailor Moon Usagi. Because I was like 4 when both of those things came out, and yeah, those are probably my first celebrity crushes. But then I think I don't know when Saved by the Bell came out, but yeah, when I started watching that, I was probably like 8, 9, 10, whatever. Yeah, Elizabeth Berkley, just oh god, and honestly, like I don't know how old she is. She's probably 50 years old, but it doesn't matter. Hold on. Elizabeth Berkley. Say how old is she? Okay. Age. She is 52 and she looks good. Like she still looks good. And I know like 52 isn't like that old. She still looks good. She's still bae. Remember Jesse and Sugar? Oh god. Oh. Oh yeah. Good times, man. Father Time, thou art a heartless bitch, but she still looks good. I still love her. Thank you, Jason Payne, for being a member. Eric Damo says, bruh, you're doing plenty. All love. Take some weight off your back. Who's saying you aren't a team player? You just do good business. So when you grow up watching anime, specifically Dragon Ball Z, and you look at Vegeta training at like 400 times gravity, and he is pushing so freaking hard, trying to be the best fighter in the world, trying to go Super Saiyan, trying to achieve his goals, and the gravity chamber exploded. He's in the rubble, and he's done. He's done. He's got broken ribs. And then he's just like, I can do more, and just oh my god, like every single boy from like 5 to 10 years old should have Dragon Ball Z shoved down. That should be mandatory for young boys to watch, because that inculcates such a hard work ethic into you, and you just like, if he can do it, I can. And obviously you can. You're not saying, but if that's the type of work ethic, and honestly, that's what's helped me at every step in my life is just working hard. There were times where, now eventually I got lucky, because eventually if I work at something enough, I can get really good at it, even if I suck at the start. Anyone ever remember playing Fire Emblem Awakening? There's one character, Donnie, in there. He's like this poor little peasant farmer that has like a spear that like breaks. And he is the weakest player on the map, bar none. But if you level him up in that first level, like most times he dies. Most times you're like, okay, this kid's gonna die. Like, let's protect him. Let's not put him in any battles because he sucks. But if you take him and you weaken an opponent first, and then he comes in and he kills it, do that enough times for him to level up. Most people, when they level up, they have like they get like 3 stat points, added. When Donnie levels up, he get like 6 or 7 stat points, and the growth is just incredible. So even though he sucked, he becomes one of the best players in the game. I got really lucky with that, where even if me and the same person started something and they were just leagues beyond me, eventually I would get better, and that's in most things that I've done. Now, obviously, there's things like math that I'm just generally good at, Pokemon, autism stuff, like that stuff that comes naturally. A lot of stuff comes naturally. But yeah, I came from after the military, going in and just throwing life into work, working 70, 80 hours a week is like normal. And you know, now it's like, okay, like obviously I'm busy, I'm doing other stuff, and that's fine. Especially now this writing, like now this is this project, like again, this is not just going to be like comic that we'll do like just for viewing, like yeah, like a couple grand. I can't wait to tell you guys what is going on, and as soon as stuff is finalized, I will. But yeah, you always feel like you can do more, and maybe I should. But yeah, so that's just going to be a thing with me for like ever. That's probably why I haven't settled down either. There's a lot of gals out there that if they want you, they want you, and it's like, oh yeah, he's working, he's doing this, and it's like a lot of gals won't put up with that. Anyway, Valentine's Day. Should we go back to Valentine's Day? No, we should. Let's go to. Oh, this all right. Yeah, we covered a lot of news today. Yeah, we covered a lot of this stuff. Let's go back to crypto once more and see. Let's see what the Bitcoin's doing. Bitcoin up to 96.7 is down 95. It's down about 1% on the day. Ethereum down 1.8. XRP up 3.4. BNB down 5%. Solana's pretty flat. Doge's pretty flat. Cardano's up like 1%. Lido Stake down almost 2%. It's kind of a mixed bag with everything leaning a bit more negative. Let's check out Flow. I think Flow was at like 40 something cents the other day. Now it's at 52 cents, but down 1.8% on the day. Let's check Illuvium because I like it. I mean, I bought some at 40, and I bought some at 30, and now it's 21. Damn, it has just been absolutely savagely destroyed by this bear market. And it might go down further. Who knows? We'll see. $155 million market. Always room to go down. Let's take a look at Senate. Senate is damn, it's less than 2 cents, 1.9 cents. $2.3 million market cap. Boy. What else we got here that we're going to take a look at? Let's do Spores Network. Let's see where they're at. Spores is down 2.3%, and it is a $341,000 market cap. Let's take a look at Bump. Bump was down to $600,000 market cap the other day. Now it's 1.1 million. Okay, so it had finally done something. We'll happy with that. I finally got something like, what is this? Finally got something that is made a little bit of money on. Okay, that's fine. I already joined that. We're good. Yeah, I do have more. Actually, do I have that meeting tonight? Yeah. All right. I do have to bounce as well. Crypto Low says, "What's up, bro? I was spreading the good word for the cat the last hour and 13 minutes. Now I'll continue on next time. Happy Valentine's Day. I'll be live tomorrow as well for Valentine's Day. Everyone, please comment, like, and subscribe. Comments are good for the YouTube algorithm. Everyone say bye-bye to Deshi. Bye-bye, Deshi. Can't wait to announce new partners. I love this. I love you guys. Goodbye. Never mind, I'll find